buddies. So I wanted to make you guys something special and a little different. Today we want to take a little exploration in the Bible and do an activity. So our journey begins in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6. Now, right now, in this part of the Bible, Jesus is giving his friends a beautiful teaching. It's called the Sermon on the Mount, and it's his explanation of how we are to live as his followers, as his friends, and as happy, blessed children of God. So this is my favorite verse of the Bible. Matthew, from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, and the verse is right here. Learn from the way the wildflowers grow. They do not work or spin. But I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was clothed like one of them. That verse reminds me that we are called to be dependent on God. Look around you guys. Everything that we have is made by God, and then the things that we help to make, like books or clothes, are the materials that God made that we use to then make things that we can use in a different way. So it's very special to know that everything comes from God. Everything comes from who? From God. And it also means that everything's meant to come back to God. So you and I were made by God, right? God made you and God made me, right? And we are made with hearts that want to be with God. So that's why when you say your prayers, when you go and you play and you just enjoy, when you listen to your mom, dad, and all your family, you're able to encounter God and just allow yourself to be free in Him. It's very special. So we thank God for His Word, and now I get to show you a little activity that you can do. So right now you all know that it is summertime, but it's actually, we have closed summer and we're getting into the fall season. So with each season comes different things that you can do and see. Something beautiful about Texas is that year-round you can find something very interesting. You remember those pokey pears that we went and harvested at the convent? We got too many pokies that time. But just like how they were ready right then, each thing throughout the year has its time, has its season. We can go more into that, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about preserving or pressing plants. And because our Bible verse talked about the wildflowers, how they grow, I went outside and I found us some flowers. So as you see, they're all different. Here's this one. They all have different names, different sizes, and yet they're so beautiful because God made them. Now, some of their names I know, some of them I don't know or don't remember. Two that I remember. This is a sorrel flower, so it almost looks like a clover plant, but sorrel has heart-shaped leaves, which I didn't pick any of the leaves. Nope, didn't pick any of the leaves, but this is the flower. It's very cute and tiny and yellow, and we have these in Texas too. Another one that I know, this is called the Rose of Sharon. So it's named as a rose, but it's very different. It looks very fluffy here, and it has a lot of thickness, and it doesn't have a strong scent. It's very simple but beautiful. Some of these others I've only seen around, but they are so darling too. So what you do is You start by going outside and finding some cool things. And the closer you look, the more you find something beautiful. Like I was looking in the grass and I found this one. Wow, it doesn't like it. There it is. And it's a simple grass, but see, it has its little flowers, its little other details, and it doesn't want to zoom in on you. Little planty. 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 Yeah, but it's cool and it's unique. So this is what you do. Da, 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 da. Okay. First things first. You find some sort of maybe magazine or old book that mommy and daddy and the family says is okay to use. But for me, sometimes the newspaper or magazines from HEB, those make great presses. So you go in the pages, you just open a page, okay? Now, what you want to do is set down things that are around the same size. So all of these are around the same size. So I'm going to put them here on this page. Now, I'm going to try something. Let's see if it works. Da, 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 da. I'm going to try to prop this. Will it work? Maybe not. Auntie Rosie, you're being silly. I'm not trying to be silly, but let me tell you. Sort of. That's okay. Okay, so you see my paper here? So my little flower, I want to just make him a little bit flat with my fingers. Just a little pinch. So that way, because see how this part's a little bit thick? I just want to squish that down a wee bit. So I just give it a little squish, and then I set it on my paper. Da, da, da. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just set it down, okay? I'm going to do that for the rest of these. So just take my little thing, squish it, and this way, when you look at the flower, it'll look open, but you can press them at many different ways. So you can even take a few of them like that, and you can just drop them on. And I didn't press those or change those, and when they get pressed, they'll take all different kind of sides, and so it looks pretty cool. Okay, so then I'll turn the page. Now I'll do a different size of flowers. So maybe I'll do these. And I just want to put them all around each other. Da-da, da-da. What? Da-da, da-da. This is a really fun thing to do when you have some nice plants outside and you want to be outside but you don't want to, you're a little bit tired. You can just go around on a walk and find some plants, and you first probably want to maybe find a couple books that you can keep outside. When I say books, maybe more like old newspapers or the magazines that come in the mail. Of course, we always ask first, but now, then you have those outside, and when you have a free moment, you just put some flowers on. Now, see, this is, sometimes it's not the back that's thick, but the center. So I just give him a little bit of a push, and then I put him down, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a matter of each will be different, but just like we're all different, we're all beautiful in our differences. So now, as you do that, you can kind of think about, how do I depend on God? Because all these beautiful flowers, if I wanted to, even if I had all the coolest tools, even if I had all the materials, I couldn't make a flower this beautiful. My flower would be fake. It wouldn't be real. I can't give it life. God is the source of life. So all that we have and all that we care about, it's from God. So I can think to myself, God, thank you. Thank you for all of these beautiful things that you make. Thank you for me and the wonder of my being. And when I say wonder of my being, that means how cool it is to be me. There's only one of you, and you get to share a part of God's love that nobody else gets to share. It's pretty awesome. So, once you've put them all there, you close it up and you would put it under a couple of heavy things. Sometimes you'll have a few books on the shelf, and you can just put it back on the shelf like this. Of course, you'll want to ask, but so I'll show you a couple that I had already done, and let's see how they turned out. Look at this leaf. It'll stay green now, and it's perfectly flat. Found it out on a walk. Here's another one. Wow! You can use them for crafts. You can use them to make a gift, to make a special card. And it's so easy. You just stick them in the book. These are, do you remember petals from the sunflowers? And did I put any more in this cool book? Yeah. This is a type of grass that grows pretty cool. It's simple. This is a longer piece of the same grass. Look at that. So when you set it down, how does it look? So you would take maybe like a card or a piece of paper, and you just put a little bit of glue and you put it on, and it looks pretty cool. You can make all sorts of different designs. And it's very relaxing. And it shows how awesome God is. I hope you like that, buddies, guys. Have a blessed one. Bye. I love you. And remember, all that we do for the glory of God. Amen.